In early 2018, the town of Salisbury in Britain was as quiet as usual. Surrounded by beautiful scenery and rich history, there was, however, an underlying conflict brewing in the shadows. Sergei Skripal, a former Russian intelligence officer, was living a new life after fleeing his home country. He was working quietly, enjoying an ordinary life, far from the limelight. Skripal, who knew much about Russian covert operations, had become a potential target. Russia had lost several of its former agents abroad and feared that Skripal might possess sensitive information that could threaten the regime. Yet he had no idea that his life was about to change dramatically in just a few days. On March 4, 2018, Skripal and his daughter Yulia took a train from London to Salisbury, where they met in the city center. There was no sign that their day would turn into a nightmare. As they sat in the park, they began to show strange symptoms, dizziness, and loss of consciousness. They were rushed to the hospital, where they were diagnosed with poisoning. As investigations progressed, alarming details emerged. Investigators discovered that Skripal and his daughter had been poisoned with a rare toxin known as Novichok, a substance developed by the Soviet government in the 1970s and 1980s. The investigation descended into chaos as federal police and special teams were called in. News headlines around the globe focused on the incident, making it a topic of international discussion. The British government accused Russia of executing the attack on Skripal, while Russia denied any involvement. This accusation heightened diplomatic tensions between the two nations. The British government deemed the attack a blatant violation of sovereignty. As tensions rose, the British government expelled 23 Russian diplomats from London. Russia responded in kind, deepening the rift between the two countries. Subsequently, several European nations stood in solidarity with Britain, expelling Russian diplomats from their territories, raising concerns about the escalating geopolitical conflict. The investigation continued for months, and new details began to surface. Two individuals were identified as suspects, alleged to be Russian intelligence officers who had visited Salisbury the day before the attack. However, Russia strongly denied any connection to the incident, claiming they were merely ordinary citizens. The case remained open, with no definitive answers. The lives of Skripal and his daughter remained under scrutiny as they re-emerged in various public forums, but remained surrounded by mystery. This incident highlighted how the modern world is still filled with espionage and intrigue, and how old conflicts continue to cast long shadows over the present. The attempted assassination of Sergei Skripal marks a pivotal moment in the history of international relations, shedding light on the complexities of espionage in the modern age. This story is not merely an isolated incident. It represents a long-standing struggle between two great powers, with ramifications that continue to resonate in today's political landscape.